Making the transition from the classroom to a career just got a whole lot easier for thousands of New York City students.
A new citywide action plan aimed at creating career pathways for young people through innovative programs and partnerships. And here to tell us more about the plan is the Deputy Mayor for Strategic Initiatives, Anna Almanzar. So good morning to you, Deputy Mayor. Appreciate you being here.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
So, Deputy Mayor, let's talk about this plan aimed at really helping young people get the training that they need before they enter the workforce, right? So how does it all work and how can they get involved?
It's one of the goals of the administration, the Mayor Adams administration, since the beginning, to help our youngest New Yorkers start thinking about a career from as early as middle school, elementary school, all the way to CUNY, to graduate school and beyond, to be able to connect what you learn in the classroom with what you need in order to be successful in a career.
So how do you expose these kids to what they need to know? The world is so vast, right?
Oh, God,
they have
yes.
so many careers, so many different options, so many niches. How do they get access to all of that?
In 2022 and 2023, the first 2 years of this administration, we expanded Summer Youth Employment Program and Summer Rising to 100,000 and 10,000 respectively, with the effort to bring the students who are in New York City public schools and engage in career pathways. So that was through Summer Youth Employment Program, also through CUNY, as well as to the programs we have at the YCD, the Department of Youth and Community Development.
Yeah, so you've partnered with some really big organizations too, right? Google, just for example, one of them, which of course is in New York, Northwell Health as well. Are these paid opportunities for these young folks?
Yes, it's another goal of the administration is to make sure that when we engage in internship and apprenticeship, that we are able to pay our students, our young people. And that was one of the main goals for last year and also carrying on to 2024, is to bring them, to expose them to big companies, to not only see what happens in the front of the house, right, but all that takes to run a company and to get them involved in tech, in other line of work. And to understand how you can make a living and how you can make a supported living for yourself and for your family. And being paid is a big part of that, to start understanding not only on what you do with the money you get paid, right, but how that also moves the economy, and for them to start understanding financially how to be responsible. Some of those programs include training on financial literacy to start from very early on.
You mentioned tech. Can you tell us about the tech hubs that you guys have invested in at CUNY?
Yes, that is a $10 million investment in CUNY. I'm a proud CUNY grad. I went to Hostos Community College. I say that everywhere I go. Just talk about the importance that CUNY plays in developing our workforce and our economy. And now, since we're looking at the future, that tech and green jobs are going to be in demand, we want to prepare the students to then be ready for those jobs.
What types of jobs are those?
In tech, so doing a lot of data analytics. Like one of the things that we're thinking about doing with the YCD is to start partnering with a big sports company and help our kids understand that you don't have to be the athlete necessarily, but you can be the one behind the camera, analyzing the data, understanding the techniques that takes to put on a production of that nature. And with CUNY, we're expanding it to 5 CUNYs, including some of the community colleges across the city.
How young are you looking to start?
Well, depending on where you are in your sort of career or academic learning, from elementary school all the way to CUNY, so getting it from as early as 7.
And so if you're not enrolled in one of those, in a school, are you still reaching out to young folks, or it's only for those who are enrolled?
No, that's a great question, thank you. We have about 138,000 youth who are considered out of school and out of work. So in that gap, and I was one of those students when I first landed in New York, in trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I had a high school degree, but I didn't have a job.
Right.
And with those 138,000, we want to engage with them, and we were able to secure a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor for about $30 million to work with them, and we'll be the first city to partner with the U.S. Department of Labor for the Job Corps program in engaging about at least 2,000 students, or 2,000 out of school, out of work youth in that program.
So for those students who are hearing about this for the first time, how do they get involved? How do they reach out? I'm sure a lot of parents are like, wait, what? What is this?
Oh, absolutely. And depending on where you are in your academic journey, right, one great source is always your school, your principal. If you are out of school or out of work, you can contact the city going through the city website, www.nyc.gov. and we can help you walk through the process. Also contacting the Department of Youth and Community Development will be a great resource. And if you're at CUNY, visiting the Career Services Department at your CUNY school.
And just lastly, what's the length of time that the youth could spend in such a job, right? Is it 6 months, a year before it turns into a full-time job or they move somewhere else?
And I know I sound like a lawyer, right? It depends. But it really depends on where the student is or the young person is in their career. But if you are in New York City Public Schools and participating in one of our Summer Youth Employment Program, there's an extension of that program with some school that can get extended for the entire year. We had, when we did the announcement earlier this week, a young man who is a junior at one of the schools in the city, and high school, and he is finishing an apprenticeship at one of our city agencies at DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection. Yes, DEP, sure. And he's looking at tech, and he did it for the summer and now through the fall, and looking to see how he can then graduate and go to college and keep in contact with that institution. And that's what we want to do, not only in the city, but throughout all the companies.
That's great. That's great. My number one piece of advice to every kid is to do as many internships as you possibly can in different fields, because not only do you get to see a different line of work, you get to see what your real life would be like and talk to the people, shout at the people that work that life. You see the long hours, you see the parents who are struggling to get home to their kids, you see the missing holidays here, you know?
Exactly. We hear it.
And even it shows you, do you want to live that life, right?
Exactly.
There's a great person I know, she's in finance, and she said that when she interned at a big finance institution, she said, is that the uniform I want to wear, right? She has to be in a suit and tie all the time and be able to do that and incorporate all of it in it. And we want to expose our youth as early as possible.
Deputy Mayor, thank you so much for coming in. We so appreciate your time.
No, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Happy holidays to you, okay?
Happy holidays.